is CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Naja Sherman, and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Let's take a look at today's top stories. Now at 4, Miami Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill addressed the recently released body cam video. It's of his controversial detainment over the weekend. The 30-year-old spoke out this afternoon at Hard Rock Stadium and Miami Gardens. His teammates also responded to the controversial body cam video. CBS News Miami's Ted Scouten has the breakdown.
Today we are hearing from Tyreek Hill after he's had the opportunity to take a look at the video of his encounter with Miami-Dade Police. In the video, we see Hill pulled from his car after a traffic stop outside the stadium before the first game of the season. He's repeatedly asked to roll down his window, but in the video we see him closing it. Less than a minute after the first officer approached, he's yanked from the car and taken to the ground. He said in hindsight, he could have opened the window. He thinks this can be a learning moment for everyone. As for the officer who's on desk duty for this,
Gone. He got to go, man, because in that instant right there, like, not only did he treat me bad, you know what I'm saying, he also treated my teammates with, disrespect.
Coming up beginning at 5, Hill said there's lots to unpack here and talks about what we can learn. Also, the former director of Miami-Dade Police and Hill agree that some good can come from this. At Hard Rock Stadium, Ted Scouten, CBS News Miami.
Always alerting, always tracking. This is Next Weather.
Taking a live look outside, it has been a wet and stormy day across South Florida, and it's going to stick around. Next Weather meteorologist Cindy Pressler tells us when we could see some relief. Cindy?
I'm hoping by the weekend we'll get a little bit of drier air in here, but my goodness, is that heat and the humidity is just sky high out there. The current temperature is 88. We've been up to 90 today, but you'll notice lots of clouds, lots of outflow boundaries. It's one of those days, again, you got to have the umbrella near because you're going to run into rain sooner or later. This is what we're looking at. What's next? Hot and humid conditions. More heat advisories likely. We've got them again today. Afternoon storms each day heading into the weekend, and we're tracking Francine, which the eye wall is making landfall right now over Louisiana, and we have another tropical depression out there, number 7. I'll show you that coming up in just a bit, but we've got to deal with what's going on right here at home. Lots of showers and thunderstorms. Look at the outflow boundaries now coming off of these storms over western Broward and Miami-Dade. They are moving eastward, so that means we are going to see some storms coming up, popping up here in the afternoon, late afternoon into the evening, right across the metro areas. Just like yesterday, picked up these heavy downpours. We do have some storms now around Homestead and just off to the west of that. They are moving to the east, so that's the expectation this afternoon. Slow moving. They can drop a lot of rain. Could be some flooding with this again, and our rain chances are going to stay pretty high again on Thursday. Friday dips only slightly, and then Saturday, that's going to be a wet day again. Same type of situation. You've got this east-southeasterly flow pulling in lots of deep tropical moisture, lots of outflow boundaries. Plus, we've got a stalled frontal system over central Florida, but a little bit drier air tries to sneak in here, I think, next week. But this is through Monday now, so it looks like a lot of rain could be falling over parts of Miami-Dade up into western Broward County, but we could see some pockets of heavy rain right over the metro area as well. So with the ground being saturated at some areas, this is something we're going to have to watch out for, these flash flood issues here. Thursday at 5 o'clock, there you go. Some more storms popping in along the metro area. Notice the flow is from west to east. That's the flow aloft. It's a weak flow, and that's why these storms move so slowly. Same thing again heading into Friday and Saturday. Now let's go to the tropics, because Francine has been a big subject of conversation here. It's a Category 1 hurricane. The eye wall is now touching land here in southern parts of Louisiana. 90-mile-per-hour winds. It's not going to strengthen anymore. It's too close to land now, so this will continue to track to the north. It's going to bring heavy rain, some gusty winds, and so forth. So that's something that we're going to be watching for those folks in Louisiana. No threat here to South Florida. That includes another tropical depression out in the Atlantic. So hot, humid, good chance for rain all the way through Saturday.
Thank you, Cindy. And tracking Francine, the hurricane is in the Gulf of Mexico and it's headed for Louisiana. CBS News Miami's Dave Malkoff is in Houma, Louisiana with more.
Hurricane Francine has already flooded roads in South Texas, and that's barely the beginning. Storm surge is slamming the coast, and it's going to become even more dangerous as it moves north, targeting Louisiana. Those in low-lying areas have been ordered to evacuate by parish governments.
Man, I just don't want to stay down here. Just, you know, what could happen.
The governor of Louisiana is urging people to shelter in place until after the hurricane has passed.
We remind people that when this storm makes its way on shore, we would ask that you stay in your homes.
Barges are coming in from the Gulf, tug after tug, pushing them to safe mooring. 3 years after experiencing Hurricane Ida, a Category 4 storm, everyone is taking this one seriously. Like Carol DePlantis here in Houma.
We're still not finished. We're not done from Ida yet still. Like people think everything's all done and over with. It's not. We still have a lot of places that aren't done. My son's still displaced.
She's concerned the water will enter her home, still being remodeled from the damage that Ida left behind.
We know we're going to get some water. So I just want to protect what I have.
In Houma, Louisiana, I'm Dave Malkoff, CBS News.
Take a look at this, a car slamming into the side of a Walgreens. This happened along Pines Boulevard and North Hiatus Road this morning. The impact caused extensive damage to the front of the car. Investigators say no one was hurt. The cause of the crash remains under investigation. Now to the race to the White House. Both the Harris and Trump presidential campaigns are taking a pause today. It's as the nation marks 23 years since the September 11th terrorist attacks. CBS News Miami's Jared Hill is in Philadelphia. He has a breakdown of the big moments of last night's debate.
Vice President Kamala Harris, President Biden, and former President Trump stood shoulder to shoulder at the 9/11 memorial in Lower Manhattan this morning. A calm contrast to last night's verbal sparring on the Philadelphia debate stage.
This is the most divisive presidency in the history of our country. There's never been anything like it. They're destroying our country.
Clearly, I am not Joe Biden, and I am certainly not Donald Trump. And what I do offer is a new generation of leadership for our country.
Harris leaned into her prosecutor days to lay out her case against former President Donald Trump, while he sought to tie his opponent to her boss, clashing on the economy.
I had no inflation, virtually no inflation. They had the highest inflation.
I imagine and have actually a plan to build what I call an opportunity economy.
And abortion.
They've wanted it back in the states, and I did something that nobody thought was possible.
The government, and Donald Trump certainly, should not be telling a woman what to do with her body.
There were also some questionable statements, like a false claim about immigrants in one Ohio town.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats.
And a revelation from Harris.
Tim Walz and I are both gun owners. We're not taking anybody's guns away.
Both campaigns argue they won last night's debate. Harris says she's ready for a second one, while Trump and his campaign have given mixed signals. Voters are thinking about who they want in the Oval Office.
We have things that we need, that we're interested in, that we need to know.
If you're the 4%, 3.5% of undecided voters, you want a second, you want a third debate.
In this race of razor-thin margins, both camps are back in swing states tomorrow. Jared Hill, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Touching tributes across the nation and right here in South Florida. How we're remembering the lives lost 23 years ago on September 11th when we come back. Welcome back to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Today marks 23 years since the worst terror attack in U.S. history. Memorial services are underway all across the country. It's to honor the nearly 3,000 lives lost on September 11th, 2001. This is a special commemoration that took place in New York this morning. There was a flag processional and a moment of silence. Closer to home, special memorials are also taking place all across South Florida. CBS News Miami's Morgan Reiner is at Tropical Park in Southwest Miami-Dade. She has a look at a touching tribute.
Someone asked Mayor Daniela Levine Cava as she was walking into this event, "Do you remember where you were on 9/11? And she said, "Of course I do. Don't we all?" But then the woman who asked the question said, "No, I don't. I wasn't alive yet." It's for this reason that Mayor Cava said we must continue to do events like this where we talk about what happened on 9/11, that horrific day. This year marks the 23rd year since the attack on the World Trade Center, the United States Pentagon, and the crashing of United Flight 93. Speakers at the Miami-Dade County event spoke about their friends and loved ones impacted by the terrorist attack and honored the brave men and women who rushed to help.
we know that evil still exists in this world. But through our actions and through our faith, we know we can prevail.
I know that everyone here knows the facts about what happened that day, but I think it's important that we reflect and remember.
Miami-Dade is just one of several jurisdictions that held memorial services today. The Miramar chief of police spoke about how the first responders of 9/11 are a constant reminder that we have heroes walking among us. In Miami-Dade, Morgan Reiner, CBS News, Miami.
Happening tonight, the 2024 MTV Music Video Awards are just hours away. Meg Thee Stallion is hosting music's wildest night. Katy Perry is this year's Video Vanguard Award honoree and will perform her hit songs. Singer-songwriter Money Long is nominated in the R&B category. It's for her song Made for Me. She explained why she got personal in her lyrics about a difficult relationship.
Personally, it helps me process like what I'm going through, because when you don't share, you sort of normalize things that are not okay.
The VMAs are tonight at 8. Someone woke up a millionaire this morning. One ticket sold in Texas, and it matched all the numbers in Tuesday night's Mega Millions drawing. It was an $800 million jackpot. The lucky winner could walk away with the cash option of $404 million. This is only the third Mega Millions winner this year. It was a very cold morning at Lone Depot Park, but it was all for a good cause. I had the opportunity to take part in the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge along with a Marlins coach and a player. Take a look.
2, 1. Very nice.
Well, as you can see, Marlins first base coach John Jay and pitcher Jesus Luzardo were calm and cool as can be, but yeah, I lost it. The water was very, very cold, and it was my first ice bucket challenge. This is all to raise awareness for the upcoming ALS Walk.
This year is the 10th anniversary of the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. We challenge you, South Florida, to raise your buckets for a cure.
The 2024 Walk to Defeat ALS Boynton Beach will be at Centennial Park and Amphitheater. It is on September 28th, and the Miami Marlins are kicking off the walk by hosting a nonprofit game on September 22nd for the ALS Association. All proceeds from this game will go towards care for local patients and research to find a cure. For more information, just go to our website, cbsmiami.com. That's your CBS News Miami Quickcast. I'm Naja Sherman. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS News Miami, and have a great day.